On this episode of Sloan's Wilderness Expeditions, our Colorado adventure culminates with our first ever attempt at summiting a 14er, with amazing views of the 10-mile range in White River National Forest, as well as wildlife such as pika and mountain goats that make their home on these very peaks. So smash that like button and be sure to subscribe and sit back for the adventure.
Hey fellow expeditionists, today we are going to attempt Quandary Peak, a 14er in Colorado.
At an elevation of 14,265 feet, Quandary Peak is the 13th tallest mountain in Colorado. The peak's name comes from a group of miners in the 1860s who were unable to identify a mineral sample found on its slopes. The group was in a quandary over the exact nature of the mineral, and that is how the mountain got its name.
So in planning for this trip to Colorado, I researched probably half a dozen different 14ers that I tagged as possibilities. And we chose Quandary Peak for the potential of wildlife. And also it's probably one of the shortest hikes at a little over 6 miles round trip. But I'll be honest, this morning I had a lot of second doubts and nearly backed out of doing it. But Catfish was all excited about doing it, so here we are. Wish us luck. If nothing else, there's a lot of other hikers here, so if I die, there's plenty of people to carry my body out.
Though the hike to summit Quandary Peak is less than a 7-mile round trip, the hike does pack a punch. It features a total elevation gain of 3,450 feet, most of which come in 2 short sections. The first climbs 1,300 feet over approximately 9/10 of a mile about midway through the hike, and the second climbs 1,100 feet over 8/10 of a mile during the final push to the top.
It is a beautiful, beautiful morning here on the mountain. So you can see the low point right there in the mountains. That is Hoosier Pass. That's where we camped last night, was just off the road a bit on County Road 2. Well, we are getting past, though we have passed a few people ourselves. Like I told Catfish, it's not a race. It's just a challenge to finish. It's one of those situations where I'll take that participation trophy. Steps are evil. I can handle just a graded hill, but actually going up steps, that's what wears you out. And some of these steps might be 4 inches, some of them might be 12 inches or more. It's definitely a case where size matters. That extra couple inches makes a heck of a difference. Be a responsible hiker. There is no poop fairy. Dang it. Taking a little break here in the talus fields. Yeah, rocky stuff is pretty difficult, huh, Catfish?
Yeah.
Good views for a place for a break. Now that's a cairn. come quite a ways, Catfish. On the final push to get to the top. It has not been easy. And the end is in sight. We're almost there, Catfish. And I didn't die. Did you say yes or yet? This is it, buddy.
Yes, it is.
We peaked out. High five. Yeah. What do you think, Catfish?
Pretty neat.
That was,
We just made it up all this way.
yeah, it was a tough climb, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Look at them views, buddy. It's busy up here. We had to get off of the peak just a little bit because it's so crowded up there. So down off the edge of it a little bit, got us a spot to ourselves. But man, look at them views. Lunch at 14,265 feet. Take a look at some of the views here from Quandary Peak. Look at them views behind you, man.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah. Hey, I can see our car from here. I can at least see the parking lot. Now the long climb back down. But the views are always amazing. So that is Quandary Peak, 14,265 feet.
But did you die?
And I didn't die. What an experience that was. Man,
Yeah.
I am tore up, beat. That was a challenge, probably the most challenging hike that we've ever done. What did you think about it, Catfish?
It was pretty difficult to get up the rocky section, but by doing so, we did see some pretty cool things, including a couple pikas and some mountain goats, which we had never seen before.
Yeah, that was one of the highlights, and that's one of the reasons we actually chose Quandary Peak, is there'd been a lot of reports of mountain goats being there. And hey, it worked out for us. We seen them, didn't see them on our way up at all, was kind of disappointed, but coming back down, there they were, a lot of them, and that was awesome. Yeah, it's, they say Quandary Peak is one of the easier 14ers, but I don't know. That was a rough hike. All that talus fields and the scree fields, all that rock, that made that elevation gain all the more harder. The ironic thing is I think coming down might have been even more difficult because it's more dangerous because you're trying to step down and the rock's just sliding underneath you, huh?
Yeah.
But we did it. We can say we did a 14er, Catfish.
Yep.
So that is awesome. We're on to our next adventure. So till next time, peace out.